All right. Good afternoon. What's up? All right. All right. Where? Yes, welcome one and all. Thanks for watching. If you are new and don't know, my name is Tim. I go by Foamy Guy on GitHub and Discord, and this is the Deep Dive, which is a weekly live stream program here on the Adafruit channel. It was started by Scott. It's over here. Scott Shawcroft, lead developer of CircuitPython. He is out this week, helping, dealing with, hanging out with, tending to a sick child. So I am here filling in as I do when I can if he cannot make it. Deep Dive is a live stream, which is essentially a look at whatever Scott or I is working on in CircuitPython in the surrounding sort of environment. If you don't know what CircuitPython is, you can learn more about it at the main website here, circuitpython.org. It is basically a version of Python that runs on tiny computers called microcontrollers. Typically, the way it works, you plug it into your computer, it shows up, so you plug it in with the USB cable, it shows up like a thumb drive, and you can edit a Python code file on that drive. When you save it, the microcontroller will execute the Python code for you. That is the very, very high level version of it. And on this stream, we are getting way down into the weeds, usually whatever is up and coming, brand new, or about to be brand new in the CircuitPython world. As always, thanks to Adafruit. Adafruit is a hardware and software company based out of New York. They make CircuitPython possible by paying a team of folks, including both Scott and myself, as well as some other folks, to work on it. They also pay people to work on other various open source projects that are outside of the CircuitPython world. There are Arduino drivers and other things which CircuitPython pays, which Adafruit pays people to work on. If you would like to help support them and all of the open source software that they support by paying developers, one of the easiest ways to do it is by purchasing hardware from them, which you can do at their website, adafruit.com. You can get microcontrollers as well as other bits and bobs and things to hook up to your microcontroller to build fun things with. All right. I am jumping back into the Zephyr world today. And what I would like to do with this time is try to get support added for the Metro RP2350. There's not a board def for this yet. In fact, I think there are no RP2350s at all so far. Oh, that's not true because there is a Pico 2. Okay, good. So we're not doing the first ever RP2350, which is actually kind of nice. But we are doing the first Adafruit one. There's a Adafruit Feather RP2040. There is a Feather NRF 52840. And I have also chosen the Metro RP2350, so we're doing the first Metro board def, it looks like, so far in the Zephyr port, which is where I'm focused. I don't recall if I mentioned that part or not, but Zephyr is like kind of up and coming in the CircuitPython world. We're working to move the rest of CircuitPython to kind of build on top of it. So there are a select handful of boards currently that support it. And it one of the nice things about it is it should make it easy to add support to CircuitPython for anything that Zephyr already supports, which is one of the reasons why I chose the Metro RP2350. Because if we go to the Zephyr repo, there is actually already a board def for this here. So they do it a bit differently. They're split up by manufacturer. So Adafruit is here, and then Metro 2350 is here. I would like to get a CircuitPython board def for it. If we get that working, then I'll flash it on the device and we will start testing out some of the functionality on it. I don't know for sure if we'll make it, how far we'll make it, but we shall see where I can manage. In about an hour. Just like Scott, I am happy to answer questions and stuff. So if folks have questions, comments, ideas, things they want to chat about in and around CircuitPython, you can join us in the chat down here, live broadcast channel on the Adafruit Discord, or on the YouTube, which is visible below there, which is actually getting covered up, isn't it? Let me fix this not to overlap quite so far. There we go. All right. And I think plan A is ask our helpful command line friend for help. But I think actually what we want to do is not here. I want to go even deeper. I want to just go port Zephyr and start it up here. And then basically do something like this. We're in the CircuitPython repo in the Zephyr port directory. Can you please add a board definition for the Metro RP2350 Adafruit. As references, you can look at. We're in Zephyr CP right here on the other drive over there. We're gonna say you can look at boards, Adafruit. No, actually, we're gonna say boards, Raspberry Pi, RP Pico 2. Can look at boards, Raspberry Pi. RPi, Pico 2 Zephyr. Pico 2 Zephyr. Or let's see, you can as references, you can look at this for an example of a RP2350 based circuit Python Zephyr board def. Oh no, def, okay. And this one's gonna be a longer string. Actually, I also have upstream Zephyr, I think will help it as well. Boards, Adafruit, then Metro. Oh, it's not here. Uh-oh. Is this brand new? Oh, this is Adafruit Zephyr. Going upstream Zephyr, not Adafruit Zephyr. I'm not clear if CircuitPython, I don't know if it uses the Adafruit fork or not. I kind of don't think it does, but I'm not sure. I'm going to move Zephyr to Adafruit Zephyr. Clone upstream Zephyr. Hopefully that doesn't take super long. That big, is it? I don't actually know. 15%. It's pretty big, I guess. About a gig? I would have noticed before. That was the other fork. I would have done that before the stream, but we can start doing this at least. So Python workspace, Zephyr boards, Adafruit, Metro. It's the upstream Zephyr or def for the same device. Let's make sure that's correct. Nice. Okay. Alright, so we're in the CircuitPython repo in the Zephyr port. Can you add a board def for the Metro RP2350? As references, you can look at Raspberry Pi 2, Pico 2 for an example of RP2350 based CircuitPython Zephyr board, and that for the upstream Zephyr board def of the same device. I don't know if it matters. Probably not. Not sure if this will be a thing that Sonnet can do. I mean, I think it won't be too challenging since we pointed it directly at these references. I'm thinking it should be not too hard. But if it starts to struggle bad, maybe we can bump up to Opus. But there's not that much to the board defs, I think. And especially since we have the upstream one, that's going to contain the pins and... Okay, and it's looking at Feather RP2040, which is pretty good as well. This works. We could try Feather RP2350, although that one doesn't have the upstream Zephyr file yet. So this wants to do find in Zephyr the Pico 2. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be the name, I don't think, but let it look around. See if I can find it. Raspberry Pi. There we go. Looks like it found it now. Script for Adafruit Industries and Adafruit inside of... Oh. Zephyr board Adafruit Metro RP2350 Zephyr. Yeah, that file looks good. There's hardly anything in any of those, I think. Well, some of them, they have the turn modules off list. Most of them just have this in it. As long as there's not a flash space constraint, then that's all they have. Autogen. Autogen will get created as well when we make the build. Create the flash overlay, 16 megs. That's good. It's got the flash figured out. The size at the very least. Board alias, okay. Metro. Zephyr. No, we can't do the build here. Doing the main development screen. Need build here. All right, so it created the directory. It should just be everything inside the one directory, I think, unless it needed to like pull in anything super strange, which I don't think it should have. So then we can grab that and get it to my computer by using this fancy, it's not really fancy, but helpful mounting situation I have set up here is we can just go to the directory that thing is inside of, which is this. And it should be right in here, Metro. Put that onto my computer here. These, we will need the overlay file as well, probably. One. There's the flash. I do know what that looks like now. Oh, okay, let's try to build it. Did I do the name wrong? Metro P. So one thing I'm unclear on is if you need the Zephyr suffix. I've seen some have that, and some seems to work even if you leave it out. Maybe all. Metro. Here it's showing without Zephyr. Specify a valid board target. This one does say the full thing here. Still had a typo? No. Words found with name. Oh, it needs to go in here as well, actually. Board aliases, we need to get the update for this, which I didn't do. Yeah, see, this was changed at 6:14 at the same time as the other file. This actually will have Metro in it now. Need. But that I just had not copied from the Pi where the Claude code is running over to my computer here. There we go. We got further at the very least. Let's go, and I'm going to plug in this Metro RP2350. this because I don't know if we are going to lose Flash when we do Zephyr port, maybe. Nope. Let's see. This random. Make sure there's not something else I didn't copy. So this folder we did, this overlay file we did, and this aliases we did. And it says that should work. Okay. Tried building, got this error. So my guess, it looked like it failed basically to include something it needed. Undefined, so it doesn't have this for some reason. Entropy. Like we should be looking more at the CircuitPython ones than the Zephyr ones, but we'll let it go down the road a little bit here. Now we're back into CircuitPython land a little bit. RNG node is disabled in the 2350 vendor DTSI. It needs to be explicitly enabled. The Pico 2 board enables it in its DTSI, but the Metro DTS doesn't. Need to add it to our overlay. There's that. And then basically the same thing again, because I think I was reading its note to itself, not its note to me. Okay. So overlay was updated. We can copy that. And then RNG here now is different. Might have to read this as a Zephyr chosen node. Entropy equals RNG. Interesting. I'd have to feed this as Zephyr chosen node as well. Zephyr comma entropy equals address RNG. I am not entirely sure what that means. One thing that you will find, especially if you happen to know a fair amount about Zephyr, as you watch me, you will probably learn that I do not know that much about Zephyr just yet. Everything I know about Zephyr is all as it pertains to CircuitPython building on top of it, and I've just started really playing with that in the last like 2-3 weeks. So I have come to learn a lot in those 2 or 3 weeks, but there's still a lot of gaps in my actual underlying Zephyr knowledge. I do appreciate the help there in the chat, though. We might be on the right track. It's not failing as fast. Nice. Okay, we got a build. Zephyr entropy RNG chosen equals RNG. This just tells Zephyr things, which entropy source to use. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. It's a source to use in a portable way. There's probably a ton of existing chosen nodes in your board already. I gotcha. Chosen nodes. I'm not sure how everything stacks up. So we have like the overlay file here for the CircuitPython boards, and we also have these file, well, autogen gets created automatically. We also have this file. But I understand these are sort of extending or on top of whatever comes from the actual Zephyr board def. And it looks like realistically we're also including whatever's in this too. See, board stuff. Okay, we got to build. I took a backup of the Metro, so I don't care if it gets wiped, really. We can go to the bootloader. Back here. Button on the end, and then reset button by the USB. Copy. Build. Metro. Build Adafruit Metro. See, I don't understand how I ended up with both of these. Or do I know which one the build is in? Zephyr. Okay. Zephyr. 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 Media. RP. Go. All right. App overlay covers up board-specific overlays per your application in board name overlay, board-specific files, DTSI, in the boards folder normally. Then your SOC-specific device tree files. Okay, I saw the SOC folder that it was looking through as well a second ago. Secret note. Okay, let's see. I didn't watch the lights. It did not come back to here, though. CircuitPy is gone, too. Good. I think it's not booting up. Yeah. If I turn it on, we get no serial or CircuitPy drive. You look in build zephyr.config and build zephyr dts.star. You can see the actual generated device tree. So even the typo ones exist. I'm going to delete these. Zephyr DTS. Did I go too far? Zephyr.config. In here though, because the way CircuitPython is doing it, yeah, there's .config. I am going to try. I think we could start a new one for troubleshooting. Adafruit Pro. Where's Adafruit? Metro. Zephyr. It comes up with anything. Probably not time to really go quite this deep, but theoretically, the Metro has the debug port right there. We could get out the Pico debug probe and make a debug build, and then use OpenOCD GDB to get lower level error messages, which would probably be the correct way to troubleshoot this. But I am curious if we let Opus here look at the files that were generated and think about the symptoms. You set your second stage bootloader config. Maybe this isn't how it's done anymore. Let me go look. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I mean, the process I did is effectively the same process that I would have done as far as building for any of the other Zephyr devices. Now, I haven't added too many boards. The Feather RP2040 is the only other board really that I added. And I did not have much trouble with it. I wonder if we need this, actually. I don't remember if this was causing the build to fail or something else. This might be worth trying. Like how this has a comp file. It's probably worth a try. But do these Raspberry Pi Picos? Only, right, only the W. It's only Wi-Fi stuff. I haven't tried flashing it on a Pico 2 either. Be worth actually flashing it on there to see if it does anything. but I don't have the right cable, nor do I have a Pico 2 handy. Definitely worth a try, though. So those are just the same file name, but conf instead of overlay. I don't know why it's M33. Most likely culprit is that RNG thing that we added. Okay. Nibbles, RNG, none of the other working boards. Probably do need to do that. Oh, hey, look at that. That looks familiar. Okay. None of the other working boards in this port do this. The upstream board DTS leaves it disabled. It already sets that, but the port is built with entropy generator Y, the RNG driver hitting the disabled unwritten peripheral during a init is the kind of thing that bricks. Try deleting that and block. Oh, try deleting that block first. Well, then it doesn't build. But I guess this session doesn't know that, right? Partition layout works. Verify code size. You only reserve 1.5 megs for code. You're drag and dropping the bootloader may reject one whose port ID doesn't match. I already said it doesn't appear as CircuitPy. Diagnostics. If you have UART adapter, wire it to GPIO. So let's try this with this thing, even though it probably won't do anything. Okay. Yeah. That's a no. Did not come back as CircuitPy, did not come back as serial. And I could try dropping this, but then we won't be able to build. It says if you have a UART adapter, can debug. Let me grab one. So watch it just build now. So presumably PIO 0 and 1 would be TX and RX on the silk screen. Seems promising. Yes. Okay. So theoretically, I could hook up my UART thing to TX and to ground and see potentially output. And indeed, this just gets us back to here. Let's see if Opus has any thoughts about that. RNG block build fails. There. All right, so let's put that back. Try to hook this up. LSCA 3-volt ground. This would go to TX. There. It's plugged into that. That shows up as USB 0. Start that, and we see nothing come to the USB here. Nothing coming from the X pin on the thing there. It was worth a try. What's up, Yano? I saw some folks who found the WASM port earlier today or yesterday in one of the Slacks, one of the Adafruit Slacks. Folks were talking about that, so. Got it. RNG is load bearing for that. So keep it. I've been through every file in the board def looks structurally correct, matching patterns. Without being able to reproduce, here's what I'd check in order. Does that board boot on a Pico 2? Yeah, maybe we'll have to try that. If it does, then this works in the issues metro specific. If it also fails, then it's 2350 issues. Get UART. Look up an adapter. You'll see the Zephyr boot banner. Any fault. Confirm the UF2 actually flashed. After dragging the UF2, does the bootloader drive disappear? If it stays mounted, the bootloader rejected. Thing worth trying blind. Drop config frame pointer in and set these in conf. Get more fault detail if there's a fault we're missing. Then rerun with UART attached. What's up, Tyth? As the Wasm port was being mentioned, Yano was pushing updates 2 minutes before. Nice. Hot off the presses, yeah. Saw there were some more recent commits on there. Let's try that. So it's just saying config frame pointer. And we don't have that inside of conf, actually. Drop this and set these. You put all of those in the same file? Interesting. Let's drop this. Like it would mean get rid of it. Are we using that though? This one did not seem to matter. Should I keep it anyway though? Since it did matter on the RP23 2040. Alt dump 2 exception debug. It's worth a try if we can get more of an error message. While that build's running, let me see if I can scrounge up a Pico 2. I don't know if that's going to be so easy or not, but I'll try. Okay. The parts box has provided us a Pico 2. So after this builds, we'll flash it. If it still does not show us anything useful, then I will try the Pico 2 build and see if that one boots or not. And then that's probably about all that we will have time for today. There's our drive, so copy that. That is still running, so if anything comes out UART, we should see it. But in awfully, like, still not so much. Okay. Nothing there. Let's try the Pico 2. This is Raspberry Pi RPI Pico 2. I wonder if the UART thing would actually really be expected to work, or would this be on the debug? Would it be on this thing? Where that's at right here. SWDIO. It's definitely labeled differently. It definitely said GPIO 0. These get... Fine still. Nice. Okay. Gotta build for Pico 2. I don't really have a reset button. But I have a button. On the USB port. Okay. Oh, nope. Okay. We got CircuitPy there. Okay. Attached UART adapter, TX and ground. Not seeing any messages. Any messages there. After copying the UF2 file to the Metro RP2350 drive, disappears, but no CircuitPy drive appears, nor does any serial connection like dev TTY CM0. Tested the Pico 2 build, and it does flash and run normally. Flash and boot up normally with the expected drive and serial port. So this issue is specific to the Metro. Answer everything? Answered everything. I guess I didn't tell it explicitly that we put these, but we did put those. It's gonna be fun years and more recent and interesting things for recent and interesting things of web and hardware and AI tools to intertwine. Yeah, definitely some crazy stuff going. The Wasm port reminds me a little bit of the native sim, which I also started playing with a little bit as I've been diving into the Zephyr one more. In that it can kind of like run CircuitPython inside of an actions container and do tests against it. The Wasm port I feel is likely to be similar, although I'm not sure exactly if it can use a browser inside there or what, but I'm interested to start doing library tests that use native sim. Like, what was the one I was just thinking about the other day? It was maybe image load, or it was image load. Because with native sim, we can do like a run it and take a screenshot to have like what is it expected to look like on the display, and then run it again and like compare the screenshot we got against what it's supposed to be. You have two flashes, drive disappears, but chip is completely silent. That means image def block isn't being rejected outright, but the image hangs before Zephyr UArt. Pico 2 works, so generic RP23, strong suspect, code partition starting at 100, config use DT, code partition Y. That's the one structural difference versus that. Starts at flash base 0, metros is offset. Combined with delete node overlay trick, it's possible image def. And vector table don't end up where the boot ROM. Let me check how Zephyr for this upstream. That one does boot. Does it know that one boots? Is it sure? I mean, who's tested that? This thing tested that? 0x0 sounds better than 100. I'm not above just changing it. I don't know the right place to change it. Right here, I guess. Or, well, code partition is here. Is code partition here. That looks the same to me. We got at 100 here, we got hex 100 there, and hex 100 there. Which looks the same as this one. My eye. Oh. Sure. Rebuild and try this. If it boots, we're done. Experiment 2. If it still fails, add this. So it did actually try this thing. I think we ended up with all of these. Might as well just get all of those. Sanity check. Not any silkscreen labeled? Double checking. You've got your adapters RX on the Arduino pin 1. Okay. So let's see. We updated what now? We updated the conf. No, we updated the overlay. We updated the overlay. I'm gonna unplug the Pico. I don't want a random other thing plugged in. Ouch, that kind of hurt on the bottom of the solders. I mount CircuitPython, and I'll wrap up after I try this. I do want to try this and maybe the other thing it's talking about as well, but then I'll be wrapping up here pretty quick. So this is into port Zephyr. Boards overlay has been updated right now, and actually conf2. Let me just grab them both. I do think I had all of those, although I did not actually check before. We could look at history, but it doesn't matter. Not sure what did it actually change here, because this is still 100. Stage partitions. My eye doesn't really... Oh, okay. Has moved that outside. Interesting. I was looking at the wrong one here. Okay, yeah, so it basically moved this up here. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. That seems a little janky, but we'll see. I don't think the rest of them are like that. But worth trying. Hopefully no harm in trying. Thank you for round bootloaders. Thank you for whoever out there makes round bootloaders possible to where we can just like not have really any idea what we're doing. Putting together these config files with flash hex offsets and just flash it to our device and not actually, knock on wood, not be super in danger of just breaking it. Part of the challenge with WASM is deciding where to draw certain lines. Do you want to use real CircuitPython C hardware modules? Do you want to run pure Python interpreter and have hardware be Python objects? Or do you want to create JavaScript hardware modules that CircuitPython can import and use? Yeah, you have kind of like that. You have this sort of like extra world, this extra JavaScript world. Part of the equation for sure. Alright, looks like we got a build successfully, so not much to see, but I'll show you what little there is. Hitting the boot button here. In X. It's definitely ground. I think that's how I usually wire this thing. Okay, so we should have bootloader drive to copy. Alright, disappeared. Nothing here. Oh! It came back. It is now there as CircuitPy. Oh, I think I just copied the Pico one to it. I think I might have just copied the Pico one to it. I totally just copied the Pico one to it. Okay, so that's interesting. If we flash the Pico image, it actually boots up. That's interesting. That's good to know. It's not really what I intended to do, though. See, that means this must be wrong, though, right? Because we saw nothing in here, even when it booted up successfully. I guess we didn't have those Y things in the comp file, but still we saw nothing. So that thing was talking about seeing a Zephyr header. I don't know, because we didn't even see that when it booted up under Pico 2. But in any case, after I flashed this one, it's now back to gone again, so that did not fix it. CircuitPy is gone. Still had no action in the UART. And we still have no serial like ACM0 or anything. Okay. Well, it was worth a try. And it does boot with the Pico 2 image or build. So theoretically, it's fairly close, but oh, hey, I wonder if we need these. Wait, this is NRF. So the Feather RP2041 has code partition under flash 0. Which makes me think that's more like how we want it. This moved it out here. But I'm thinking we don't probably want that. This probably needs to be in here. And that's likely needs to be in there. One thing that was interesting in here that I just saw though are these. I wonder if I were to put Zephyr console. I wonder if I were to put this stuff, if we would see more output on the UART thing. And maybe this. Okay. That's something to try, is mimicking what the NRF 52840 is doing with this UART stuff. This seems like it might enable some of that stuff that would potentially maybe make it so that the UART adapter is seeing something. Again, I'm kind of poking around in the blind a bit on the Zephyr front, so I'm not sure if that tracks, but just based on the names of these things, it seems to me like that could be the case, so worth a try. We did not make it successfully to have an actual board def, but it did boot when we accidentally flashed the Pico 2 one, which is, I'll take it as a consolation prize for now. I was kind of hoping Walkway Creator might get on board and open source it. There was some awesome custom chip support, so you could wire the sensors, etc. you needed. Oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Walkway and similar simulators, definitely an inspiration for the Wasm port. Probably the reason I've taken the hard path trying to incorporate C hardware modules. The MicroPython WebAssembly port, which PyScript uses, is already excellent if what you're after is the Python in the browser. Okay, that's going to do it for today. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you, especially also back up here to, who's this? I2C Jack for the help on the Zephyr stuff. I will be back on Tuesday for Deep Dive here on the Adafruit channel, 10 a.m. Central Time. I will probably not stream tomorrow over on my channel because I don't usually do. If I'm doing Deep Dive, I'll skip on Saturday. So no stream for me tomorrow, but I'll be back on Tuesday here on the Adafruit channel. So until then, I will bid you farewell. So long. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. See you later.